I like my butter like I like my butts.
Etc. Etc. Etc.
Soft and supple.
Supple.
So we had to take a quick detour to the store because I don't read my text messages fast enough and I didn't get sour cream. So now we are, where are we? Stater Brothers? Okay, we're in Stater Brothers. Are you disappointed in me as a friend? Oh, that's nice. So, about to film with CJ Westley, and I don't know if you guys have seen like the No Promises video.
What's on my soul, tone, ain't worth it, remember things fast. But I keep that number in my back pocket, cause my conscience sleeping when I hustle like it.
I thought the special effects were very well done. I was thoroughly impressed, and when I spoke to him, I said, how did you do the spinning thing? How did you consistently stay spinning the entire video?
A swivel. So what's really impressive about this is that he had to consistently use his like leg strength to rap and turn the entire song at the same consistent speed. I don't know if that's something I could anatomically do, but well done. So he's saying this isn't for anything in particular. I saw flour. I associate flour with baking. Are these not things to make the coffee cake with?
I mean, technically it's just raw.
He's downplaying my excitement. He's like low-key mocking it.
You're just so excited.
I'm insanely excited. So if you have seen his videos online on Instagram, Twitter, you will understand. You spilled some flour there, chef. You'll understand. You'll understand my excitement and the fact that he got sour cream. That means this is gonna be like good. I think so. What is up, everyone? Rissa here with Culture Fuzz. Thank you so much for joining me back here on my channel. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit that bell notification and that subscribe button so you always get notified when I put up new content. What is this man doing? Who is this man? Whose kitchen am I in? What am I doing? What are we eating? What day is it? Are you okay?
Nope.
I'm not okay either. If you want to know what's going on, if you want to know if we are okay, make sure you stay tuned. Welcome back to another segment of Rissa Eats, and we're putting a little twist on it today. So instead of me going out and shining a light on local mom and pop shops and restaurants, I'm actually going to be joining an artist by the name of CJ Westley, aka the rapping chef, aka, do you have like a chef name? Are you just CJ the chef? CJ the...
It's CJ Chefly, like when I cook. CJ Westley when I rap and I do other things. There's other nicknames, but I feel like you want to get monetized, so I'm just not gonna say them.
Yeah, don't demonetize me. Keep it to yourself.
I'm gonna do that.
Just hit him up if you want to know. But today we're gonna be getting a little bit of both. We're gonna be getting some DJ Westley and some DJ Chefly. We're gonna talk about his album that's out. It's not like recent.
October.
His fairly recent. We'll talk about his album. We're gonna talk about his music that's out, and we're also gonna talk about what we're cooking today. What's on the menu?
Man, you ever been to like Carolyn's Cafe?
No.
So everybody's been telling me about like this coffee cake that's like the best coffee cake they've ever tasted. And I got like really good at baking cakes recently, so I'm just like, I finally have the confidence to like try to make a better coffee cake than that spot, because that spot, I'm gonna be honest.
Have you tried their coffee cake?
I haven't tried it, and I feel like I should have done that first before trying to make a better coffee cake.
That's gonna be my question, yeah. What's the best coffee cake you've ever had?
I mean, I've really only got like a few bases of comparison. So at this point, I guess I would say Starbucks, which is just like basic.
Their coffee cakes, like, I mean, it's not terrible. It's better than the Little Debbie ones.
It's decent.
That I'd be fucking up.
But it's, that one's pretty bad.
I love, what is it, processed dessert? It's terrible. I have no bar. It's fine. This is why I'm very excited for this. So it looks like we've got like a whole thing going. We've got pan, sugar, flour, cinnamon, brown sugar, eggs.
And as I'm looking at it, I can see one thing that's missing. And I'm gonna just reach over and grab it.
Just kept.
I got it. No.
He's okay. I kept fucking with his shit. Oh, the vanilla. See, I was messing with his process. Vanilla. I was messing with his process, so he forgot that. So.
She was.
All right. What's the first thing that? Oh, we got sour cream. We went to the store for that. Anytime I see that, that's involved in a dessert. It's about to be delicious. That's some fat shit.
Moist.
That's not the box cake recipe.
Something. Yeah, I don't do box cake. Box cake is.
I love box cake. See, I have no bar. I literally have no fucking bar.
I mean, it's not like box cake is bad or anything. It's just box cake.
Yeah. No one hates it. No one's gonna say no to it.
I mean, I got a perfect example for you for box something where you could be like gross.
Okay.
Box macaroni and cheese.
Box
Wow. I hope you
This
zoom
is
in.
why I have this segment.
I hope you zoom in on my face to see my utter disgust. Box
Can you put just
Kraft, just
all of it? The cheesy, gooey, like just fake ass powdered cheese. It's delicious when it melts down. So, all right.
maybe Velveeta, but not Kraft. Like you got not Kraft like box mac and cheese.
So as you're being traumatized, let's okay. So I know there's a science to baking. You have to mix wet ingredients first and then dry ingredients. Is that like a thing?
There's like a lot of different ways to do different baking types. So for instance, like when you bake cakes, you can mix all your wet and all your dry, like separately, of course, and you mix them all together and then you pull them together. And the reason why you do that, like you sift your dry ingredients in, is so you don't create clumps.
I know about the clumps.
I
be there like.
I just beat the hell out of pretty much any of my ingredients, and like even when I make waffles, like from scratch, which I did this morning.
I love how he just casually throws it in there.
Just like
you know that I just
nothing
like.
Crazy.
I was like, "How was your day today, CJ?" So I just made chicken and waffles, kicked it. I'm like, the fuck, just casually.
Look, I'm gonna just be
My
real.
world's so different.
Be real G about like the whole cooking thing. Once you start with it, it's really, really easy. Like Nick, he's my roommate, and he's been looking at me like, you know what? After you showed me like a couple things, like I know how to cook.
Like the basis and like the foundation of certain
knows
things.
how to cook, but at the same time, he was like, some of the things you do, I think are complicated, but then I did it myself, and I was like, wow, this was really easy. I was like, exactly, my nigga. Like it's really
friends
really
inspiring
easy.
friends to cook. See, I you know what though? That's how I learned to cook. When I started dating Eugene, he's the cook, and I was like, oh,
It looks like that.
seasoning's not that hard. See, I was terrible at seasoning. I'm like, oh, Lowry's and salt. All together. And I was like, now I have to throw it away. Anyway, I know. This is why it's fine. It's fine. I'm still here.
So, moving into it. So, some recipes call for the creaming of butter, and the reason why that is so you can create a fluffier texture for butter. Nope, not that one. I appreciate you though.
I was gonna hold it up to camera. He said nope.
So, no, we're gonna do these ones. So this is unsalted butter. That's what that is right there. It's a stick each, which is a half a cup, so it's a full cup of butter. We're gonna do our wet mixture first because that seems funner. And I'm gonna just.
Is there something I can do? I'm gonna ask you questions.
And I'm gonna always say, just you can sit there and look pretty. You're doing a good job already. Thank you. You got it. Go ahead. So we're gonna do 2 sticks of that. That's a full cup. Please stop.
No, but I wanted to talk to you about let's talk about your album. So your album that came out in October, what was it called?
Illusions of Paradise.
So let me tell you about CJ like real quick. So I've known CJ for quite some time, a few years now, and I remember when I first heard his music, it was, I forget the name of the album, but you had like
Overslept,
and it was like 4 of you, like 4 versions of you on the cover, and it was like a classroom theme, and I remember just being completely blown away because I lived in LA and I had yet to come across a project in a very long time that was a complete like story, it had a theme from beginning to end. One song had to do with the song before it, and I was just like blown away. This is when I had Top Shelf Bangers. I did like a little write-up on it and it was like super fucking amazing. So ever since then, he's been like a favorite of mine, like a favorite independent artist. So I'm very grateful that you're on the show and that you're putting up with me. Very, like that's friendship. Like,
me too.
And I always say that food is a love language, and the fact that you love cooking and that you're even doing this, he doesn't do this. Like, I had to chase him down. He made me work for it. Like, made me work for it, and I didn't even bring the sour cream. But Illusions of Paradise, phenomenal album, by the way.
I'm not gonna lie, this is easier with a mixer, but I'm like thinking I could do this with my hands. Like, I was like, oh no, it'll be easy. The butter's not like, you know.
Everything's inside of the mixer.
Look at this.
That's basically the ingredients they put on pan dulce sometimes.
Okay.
Butter and sugar. So what do we do?
No, you just keep beating it until it gets better to do.
Oh, it'll eventually. See, I would have tapped out. I would have got tired.
I can't do that.
So is it recommended to use an electric mixer for these types of ingredients?
Depends if what you're using. Like, if you're using like actual butter like I'm using, it's usually a lot thicker than, like, for instance, margarine.
Yeah.
And margarine, which I came to find out like maybe way too late in life that it's really just not even close to the same thing, and it's not gonna bake the same. It's not gonna cook the same. You cannot use it to make buttercream frosting because it's not butter. So I'm just gonna throw some eggs in.
I see. I wouldn't have known any of. My mind is blown right now. All right, we gotta stay focused on. But okay, Illusions of Paradise came out in October.
Word.
Super well received album. I thought everyone loved it. Came to the listening party. Everybody loved it. Talk to me about it. What was the concept behind it? Because
Illusions, you said? So Illusions of Paradise. It's wow. It was something that I've been building for so long. I didn't get any chills. I'm good. He was looking like something that I built.
I have to act like I'm doing something on the camera. Like,
are you doing it? You got it. But what it was is that it was at the time that I started, because I started probably around way back when I had finished Overslept, and it was actually supposed to be like a spiritual successor called Coma at the initial, like at the start of it all.
Coma?
Coma. Clearly overcoming my adversity.
Y'all and these acronyms and these powerful ass double entendres and shit. So how did Illusions of Paradise? Go ahead and mix that. Hold on, we'll be right back.
The name Illusions of Paradise, it actually came from the overall concept of, you know, our vices. So when we get trapped in, let's say, like what we call paradise, you know, women, drugs, liquor, etc. And at the time it feels like paradise, but in actuality it's really just worse than what we started as. So when I started the project way back after Overslept, and it was supposed to be called like I said, Coma, it's supposed to be like a spiritual successor. It's supposed to be me seeming to triumph, but ending up really just in the same place that I started, which is how I felt mentally at the time. So Illusions of Paradise, I don't know when it hit me, but it did, and I never really looked back. I changed so many songs on it. There's probably maybe like 50 songs in total that were ending up supposed to being on that song, and it ended up being, you know, 14.
So when you were making this all, were you coming out of something, like coming out on the other side of, like, it sounds like you were coming out of the other side of whatever vices you were feeding into?
Super bad relationship. So it started like me spiraling, you know, through mental health and whatnot, and ending up in this relationship that I found while I was doing that.
Yeah.
And it ended up being one of the worst relationships I've ever been in, and because she was just, listen to Insecure, she wasn't shit. She wasn't.
She was not ready.
She was clearly not ready
to receive your love.
She was not ready to receive my love. But yeah, that is what really messed me up. And at the cusp of the album, like it's, you know, like its high point, which is like right in the middle, that's really where the album seems to have kind of like a very cheery kind of, you know, like a feel to it.
Yeah.
You get songs like Girls Gone Wild, you get songs like Who You Are, and then it just gets really dark really fast, and that's literally like
just like life.
Exactly.
Just like the human fucking experience.
Human life, Six Flags.
I mean, and I think it's a very powerful message, and I think a lot of people forget about that part of life. Like, the dark shit's gonna happen. Like, it's going to happen. It's part of the process.
And it hits so hard. Oof.
But it's who you choose to be within those moments, and the thing I admire about artists is that we are capable of taking that darkness or whatever feelings and turning it into something beautiful that we can share with other people. And it's a really, really bomb-ass album.
I appreciate it.
I have more questions, but I also have questions about this. So we just mixed in the eggs, the butter, not the margarine, the butter. I like my butter. I'm sorry. I don't know why that's.
You just running off on it. Yeah, we got eggs, brown sugar, and butter in here. Actual butter, because it's supple, it's soft. It's soft.
So what's next? So we mixed it with the electric mixer. We tried this. That didn't work. We got the electric mixer. Now what's next?
So I don't really measure things like
a true
distinctively.
chef.
I feel like, because I was actually reading up on like that coffee cake from Carolyn's Cafe. Like I looked it up, and there's no recipe in sight. So they were like, "Nah, we're not giving this game away."
We're like, no, there's a reason why it's Carolyn's coffee cake.
Yeah, we're not giving it the game away.
So we're getting 2 capfuls of vanilla.
Who said it was 2? Maybe it's 3.
I'm sorry, I was being presumptuous. Okay, I was like,
I'm gonna stop.
This is your occasion.
No, you got it.
It's 2 though, because I know that vanilla is pretty. Like this stuff is pretty potent from what I understand.
I mean, it's really just concentrated like fake extract. Like this guy's like artificial. Like, it's not even real.
Okay, that's the stuff I'd be using too.
I wouldn't even know where to find vanilla beans, to be perfectly honest with you. I have no idea where to find them.
We're probably not privy to them. They're probably not like available to us out here like that.
I probably have to switch where I shop for groceries. I probably have to go like Trader Joe's or something.
Yes, 1000%. Or a farmer's market or something.
Not gonna do that. See?
Why?
Want to do it?
Anyway.
So we're gonna move on.
So we mixed that. Now we have a new bowl.
We got a whole new bowl. We're gonna move half of this stuff out the way because we're doing dry now.
Okay.
So this is gonna be a lot.
We did mojado. Now we're doing whatever the Spanish word for dry is.
I don't know.
Wait. God.
Go ahead, try.
My mother watches these. I'm not even gonna try. She's gonna talk so much shit. Hi, Mom.
So you don't know your spent.
She's gonna be. No. She's a very passionate woman. I'd rather not try.
A little bit of that. It's like 3.5 cups of flour, like a lot.
For what size pan is this?
That is actually, I don't know.
And it's like fairly deep too.
It's like a 9x7 or something like that.
9x7, and it's like about 1.5 inches, 2 inches deep.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I really don't know.
Okay. Well, this is the ratio of the size of the pan held up to someone who's 6 feet.
Held up to my head, which is immense.
So if you can measure that, that's what we're working with.
You like duck down at the same time.
I don't know why. I don't even need to.
You really did it. I was like, where are you going?
I'm here for support.
You dug down a little bit and was almost under the table. It was crazy.
First of all,
you was like,
first of all, I feel attacked.
You should. Next, we're gonna do baking powder. Baking powder and baking soda, I never ever measure because baking powder is pretty much the like dumbed down version of baking soda. Baking soda.
So
is
they
like,
essentially just do the same thing.
They do the exact same thing. They're really just meant to make things expand.
Oh.
So quite realistic.
Expanding all over the place.
There's a joke in there. I'm gonna leave it though.
Yeah, I know. I set it up. Alley-oop?
I was like, no, we want to get this monetized. I'm gonna chill. I ain't even gonna say nothing. So this is probably about, let's say, 3 tablespoons of baking powder, and always want to.
So that's like a third of a cup.
It was less. It was
less than that. Okay.
It was probably maybe a little.
See, I need I need the teaspoon, the tablespoon.
See, I'm not giving the game away. That's not terrible. What I'm doing. We're gonna do like 2 teaspoons of salt. I know what it looks like, so I'm just gonna.
That's brave.
Salt. It's not brave. It's not. I need you to understand.
I need to salt. No, I need to.
You were just talking about salt and Lawry's together.
Yes,
that's
terrible.
Why I know you're afraid to make things
terrified.
salty. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid at all because I know how many things have salt in it. The butter's unsalted, so at that point, there's no salt there.
Oh,
so
see, those are things to be
very keen on. Yes, absolutely. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just mix this.
So now we're mixing.
We're just mixing it up.
So back to Illusions of Paradise while you're mixing the dry ingredients. What was the most, like the song that meant the most for you on the album?
Definitely the outro, Sympathy versus Empathy, easily.
Ooh.
That's honestly,
That's a thing.
I've had people reach out to me and tell me like this song gets me through the day. I'm just like,
what space were you in when you wrote that?
I wrote that song like a really long time ago. Actually, like I wrote that song to an entirely different beat. Me and Ogosh got in the studio and I pretty much told him, because there was a song, it's a spiritual successor to another song that's actually called Loneliness versus Solitude. And it's like a
Jeez, like these are like so, because there's such a distinctive difference like with each one that you're saying, like
it's just so sad, just
loneliness versus solitude.
And that song was really just about like not really having like a lot of friends and whatnot, but it's like honestly like the reason why I don't is because like people are never really there for me. Like I give so much and people just don't, they're just not down. Like they're not down for who I am as a person.
That part.
You know, you give people this piece of you and they're just like, oh, I'm good. Like, oh, for sure. It's like,
thanks, but no thanks. No, I know that feeling. Yeah. But it's like, it's stuff like that or moments, situations like that I appreciate because it makes you understand how to turn to yourself more and like how to be there for yourself. And you want people to be there for you, but you got to learn to be there for yourself.
I feel it.
What are we doing?
So what I'm gonna do is, because there's like a very specific way to do stuff like this specifically, and what it would usually entail of is now that I have my creamed butter and sugar and I have my dry ingredients, I can just mix those together and then add flour after that. I don't really feel like doing that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just keep with the culture of keeping.
So I don't know if you guys have seen my last Breaking Bread episode with Narik, and he was talking about baking. So he's like a secret baker as well. Every single time it gets down to the nitty-gritty instructions of baking, my brain just.
I promise you, like salt is so.
I'm terrified of it.
It's like baking powder and baking soda. It's meant to make, it's leavening agent. It's meant to make things rise. That's the only reason it's there though. Salt, yeah. Salt's a leavening agent. Just like baking soda, just like baking powder.
A what agent?
Leavening agent.
Leavening agent.
Leavening. Leavening.
I just want to eat the
It's
cake.
a little white. It's a little wet, you know. What you
A
know.
little wet. I don't know. I don't understand. It's just, I can't help it. Every single time,
I
reaction.
hate people like you. I just.
Why? I get that a lot. What is wrong with me? No, I know. Exactly. I know.
We got buttermilk. Most recipes call for regular milk. What's the difference?
That
CJ?
shit is thick.
Oh, it's thick. This is gonna be like a really thick batter. Like
It's looking pretty thick. Look at that shit. That looks so good. So we've got a pretty thick, creamy batter that is going to eventually become the coffee cake. So
what we got? This is your main attraction right here. You want to look over here. This is what you want to really look at. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my wet, I'm gonna get my dry, and we're just gonna put them together.
we have to see this sexiness.
Now what most people would do is
Cue sexy music.
do it like stop. Just do like little pieces of it at once. Nah, I'm just
Just the whole, just
I'm just reckless.
it's all or nothing, huh?
And then
Just
we
like
just,
your light.
we just mix it up. See how it's clumping?
You know you're fat when you start thinking of porno music and you see like food being made. Like for real.
Gotta get to the bottom. There's flour all the way down there.
So what did we just mix? What is that? The rest of the?
That's the rest of the wet. It's the rest of that wet.
No one's mature in here.
Nope. Oh, shit. Thicker than precedent. It's kicking my butt. Like, you gonna.
Slowing down, started breathing her up. Look how pretty that looks.
Okay, so it's a little too thick. So what I'm gonna do. And
Never.
I really don't believe there's a such thing as too thick.
I was
what I'm
gonna say, I was like, no such
I'm
thing.
gonna just add some milk.
Well, there is such
Just a
thing.
little, nothing crazy. And I'm tired of using my hands, so I'm gonna use this hand mixer. Slowly. That's fast.
Be mindful.
Slower.
Oh, now you want to be slow. Go home.
That's so batter. So that's thick. Almost came out. Shit. But what we do with this now is there's still 2 layers that need to get made But what I'm gonna do,
There's layers to this.
there's actual layers to this.
Just like the layers to your album.
You tried it, but you're right, but I'm just not riding with that joke. I'm not here for it.
It's not a joke. It was like
Segue?
it was a segue
Not
into
riding.
talking back into it.
I'm not riding with that.
A cool person would have done it. A cool person would have been like. So I'm saying.
Alright, so in the middle, right? You got your middle layer. Your middle layer is that little brown layer that you see in the middle. That's what that is. That's the only spot.
That crunch.
That's not the
Nope.
not there on the top. That's what
flavor?
you're talking about.
Okay.
We're gonna do like a subtle crunch on the top, but we're not gonna do like crazy. Cause I used to do crazy. We're not doing crazy today. So the middle layer, I didn't notice. Like, I was very confused about how to do this because I was putting butter in it, and that makes it like a wet. It actually makes it like sink to the bottom.
Oh.
Or to the top.
As it's baking.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But what you want it to do is you want it to sit right in the middle. So what you do is it's got to be dry. I might even.
Oh, that makes sense. So it's like fluffier.
To an extent.
Kind of
really
like lighter.
So it kind of exactly like what I'm doing over there, like with flour, eggs, butter, whatever. It's literally just taking the moisture around it and moistening it up, but it doesn't move.
Okay.
So that's kind of what that does. So that's literally flour, brown sugar. I'm not even measuring this. I'm just throwing it together because I know I don't need to.
Can't go wrong with a whole shit with a ton of sugar, right?
And you just.
And the cinnamon. I love putting cinnamon on my fruit. I got mangoes and bananas.
Cinnamon
and
on your
shit.
fruit? Yeah, you Mexican.
What's
Wow.
wrong with?
Nothing.
You need to join the other side then. I don't know. You act like you don't put cinnamon on your fruit. Do you put tahini on your fruit?
No. Like, these are all things that I don't
What is this
like.
bland life you lead?
I don't like
I hate tahini. I don't know why I'm talking shit.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. Who's this for? What demographic is this? Because
For the Los Angelesans demographic.
Los Angeles.
If you're from LA, you're Mexican. It just is what it is. It is what it is. Sorry.
You don't get any other choices?
It's like, no, you don't. It's like,
Just
you
Mexican.
don't know Spanish? You're from Los Angeles. No, dude, you should, 1,000%.
It's like
Sticking to it. Fight me.
I expect King Los to be able to speak Spanish. That's what you sound like, right?
Expect everyone. Expect you to at least order your food in Spanish.
I actually can do that.
That's all that matters. And ask where the
Flour?
bathroom is. So that's where the middle
It's the middle layer.
gonna go. Got it. That was easy.
Smell that.
Oh, you just like roll a churro around in it or something.
Exactly. That's
Like a
how I
donut. Lord.
do it. Low key, you just wouldn't do the flour, but you could do that.
Either way, it smells heavenly.
What are you gonna do?
Did this just get thicker as it sat?
A little bit.
I wonder if you can hear. Can you hear that?
First of all, it sounds like macaroni and cheese. We know what macaroni and cheese is.
First of all, sir,
Not your Kraft gross box.
it all
macaroni and
sounds
cheese.
the same.
Not your gross box.
When it gets to
mac
that
and cheese.
consistency, it sounds like cake batter.
I'm gonna just start saying that.
Cake batter?
Hello, no, not
Speaking
hello.
of cake batter,
Actually, now that you say that, all this out the way.
but I'm a very important ingredient.
Jesus, help her. Help her. So what I'm gonna do is
So I
I'm
have my own
gonna
show.
pour half of this in here. I'm gonna use my little spatula.
Is this doing too much?
It is doing
It's gonna
too
get
much.
you heavy.
Hell
I want
yeah.
them to see it close up. Just clumping it in there.
About half of it, right? Maybe like a little.
Oh, because we have to do the center.
Spatula. But yeah.
Put your own joke there.
Oh no, that's definitely a SpongeBob joke.
Oh, sorry.
You clearly didn't get it.
No, I didn't.
Now we
I
got
still
the
laughed though.
pity laugh. I don't want it. I want your reaction when you try this batter. That's.
Hell yeah, that's the point. That's why I moved the tripod over here.
All right, go ahead and try that batter.
Okay. Cool. We're gonna try this. Okay.
All right.
It doesn't smell sweet.
It
I'm already sad. Fuck. Okay.
Lick it.
I don't need your encouragement. It's fine. Oh god. Oh. We're back. Kind of good.
I know. I was just messing with you.
Why are you an asshole?
There was no way that I could put almost 2 cups of sugar, yet 3 cups of flour, buttermilk, blah blah blah, and it just randomly not be sweet. Like
I believed him. I'm gullible as fuck. Like I'm so happy right now.
I straight up
though.
lied. It was like, oh, the batter, it's not gonna taste good. Don't do it.
I believed him.
It was so she wouldn't have her fingers in my bowl. That's what it was really for.
That's
But now
fair.
that I'm done,
That's actually that's.
astute, if you will.
So I'm just gonna sit here with this. I'm excited for the stomach ache.
What I got now is I got a little bit of melted butter. Like 6 tablespoons.
That you just like pop into the microwave.
Correct.
Cool.
But luckily, I pre-made this.
You did. It was smart.
Some brown sugar. Probably the rest of it. Let's just go off. Let's just do it.
Might as well. Oh yeah. Stomach ache starting to kick in.
I'm gonna put a little bit of what I put earlier. This flour, cinnamon-ish, whatnot.
What is this for? Is this a crumble?
This is the streusel. This is what we're putting on top. Not too much of that because
Streusel.
there's flour in that, and flour will harden. We don't want that. We want like a softer kind of streusel.
I was gonna say, like, why did you put the flour mix in there then?
I only put like a little
It was a
bit.
question. I'm sorry.
Only a little bit. And then hella cinnamon because why not? And then, we're just gonna...
I like the way you think. Jesus Lord.
Just the regular sugar.
So that's the streusel.
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 Where, isn't it like German or something?
Asking.
Streusel.
Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw this. Why
Why are you so angry?
I'm always angry.
God, just hitting the table. Subject to this type of behavior.
I was threatening her with violence earlier. I was gonna hit you. She was just like, nah, that's
The fight that
That's-
took
that's
place
boring.
at the grocery store to get the sour
It
cream
wasn't even a fight.
was like
She was just like, man,
Spartang
you're gonna
ass shit.
you're gonna hurt me? That's boring. I was like, what kind of psycho
It is.
did I put in my car? Like, that's boring.
Wait, that does sound crazy when you say that, but it is. It's like
As a friend, that's you're psychotic. And I was sitting there in the car like, maybe if I make more jokes, it'll disappear. It was like, it didn't die down. It was like, nah.
it
Like,
actually escalated.
it actually did. I was like mildly uncomfortable, so I was like, let me just start
But you know
saying,
how they say like you're a reflection of those that you keep around you?
do I keep you around is the question.
Nah, that's true. That's true. It's probably for the best.
I'm about to go get
But you're here.
I'm
There's
gonna go
video
get Ominous
evidence.
and tell him, yo, help.
He'd be like, oh, I know.
Oh yeah, it's like 6-7 years in the making, bro. You know, it's crazy. I got through it. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw this in the oven for about 30 minutes at about 350, 375. I can't take nothing crazy. She thought we was gonna throw it in at 475.
I asked a mere question of what do you cook at 475, and he said literally nothing.
Burnt food. That's what you cook at 475. That is what you cook at 475.
Just don't give me the job of cooking. Just tell me to chop something. Tell me to mix something.
She probably
Just pop this shit in the oven, boy. It's very fluffy.
Did you want me to get you a small piece? Let me unclip my mic real fast. I'm gonna just slide this piece off. Don't mind me, you know.
Devil ask if I was on my soul tone. Man, ain't worth it, man, but thanks fast. But I keep that number in my back pocket, cause my conscience sleeping when I hustle lagging. Living faster than my life expanding. No more heart on my sleeve like a change in fashion. Always dealing with more pain than I can handle, like it's just more pain for my canvas. I've done some things you probably can't imagine. Probably at my saddest, even try my best just not to be a savage. Another thing I lack, and I just wanna be free.